Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud. And this will be a different sort of podcast this week. This will be an audio commentary. You can follow along. Make sure that the, what is it called? MTV Original Series thing pops up. Yeah, thing. Very technical. Very. But when that pops up, that's when it pops up for me. And I'm just going to sit here and watch the show with you and just say what I got to feel and think. Again, by myself. So I don't have a co-host. They seem to die like flies every single time. So what I'm going to do is include you guys in on the process. So we'll watch this episode together. I actually really like these spin-off shows more than the actual season itself. It's just, I don't know, it's so much personality, you know, like so many different personalities are put on the show, and that's basically why the Fresh Meat seasons were so good. You know, like all different types of people coming into their own. You're like, oh, I'm an asshole. You're an asshole. Shit. But yeah, let's get the show on the road. MTV Original Series starting up with Brooke Hogan on a beach. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna start on a beach, and there's Hennessy, the sister of someone I've heard of. We got a guy named Booby. We got Drake from Drake and Josh. Like I've never seen the show, but I've at least heard of it, and that's the point. I think when they bring in these stars or these pros, I should at least have heard of them. But I'm kind of outside of the MTV proposed demographic, I guess. They're like, we don't give a shit what you think, Vince. But there's Casper. I know him though. Why? Because he fucking was with J-Lo. I've at least heard of that. Miz is back as the host. One of the best hosts we've probably ever had, to be honest with you. Wes sneering Cam. Where is this? Oh yeah, okay. He's talking twist. Yes, there will be a lot of twists this episode. Blurring lines and shit. We get like a fucking full on teaser trailer at the beginning of this episode. This is crazy. They're showing Brooke Hogan. She's like, oh my god, my famous ass father is mad at me. And that's the other thing. Yeah, there we go. We have a sister of someone famous and the daughter of someone famous. and the ex of someone famous with Casper. Like, this is crazy. But we'll have some actual, stars and pros on the show, but they haven't appeared yet. Who is appearing now? The champs. These so-called champs. Oh, I was so heartbroken when I realized that there's only actually 3 legit champs on the team. The rest consisting of finalists and fucking one who's never even gotten to a final. I love him to death, but he's not a finalist or a champion. Shane. Oh my god. Alright, so the beginning of this episode, it's actually going to be a lot of just talking about who these people are. Which is fine, I guess. I mean, that's all we're going to focus on. So this show starts up on the beach, legit meeting each other for the first time, or at least it certainly appears so, right? And that was my biggest complaint of Champs versus Pros, when it opened up with them already have met each other and hanging out in this... in their challenge house, so to speak. Louise Hazel back. That's awesome. Like I've wanted one of the pros from Champs versus Pros to appear in Champs versus Stars 1. That didn't happen. Now it finally has. And out of all the people, I think this is just fine because Louise played the game, and I think she was like the very first person to pull out like a typical challenger move. Being shitty. Alright, so Hennessy, she's here. Sister Cardi B. Now, I'm sure I might have stumbled upon a Cardi B song, but I highly doubt it. But I wouldn't know if it was her or not, And now we just have the sister of her. But she does seem pretty wacky and stuff, and full of spunk and personality, so that's fine. Like, that's the thing. just like how people are cast from like Big Brother or Are You the One or anything. It it doesn't matter what they've done before. What matters is what they do once they're at the challenge. So really, like, who gives a shit? But oh my god, Tori totally cares. She's like head over heels for Drake from Drake and Josh. Again, never seen the show, but I have heard of Drake and Josh. Maybe my little brother watched them or something. I don't know. You know, I've always wanted the challenge to land like an actor, like a for real actor. So this is the closest goddamn thing. And he's also a musician, it says. All right. I feel like a lot of these actors nowadays are trying to do everything. Anyways, they're like, yeah, I model. They're like, we need that was the National Enquirer asking if Drake had a penis or not. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh my god, Anissa throwing herself into the scene. Did you see that? She's just like, ah, ah. Like everyone's talking about being young and stuff, and Anissa's like, oh, this is my time to jump in there and shit. Slightly sad that no, I'm happy that Tori's back, of course, but she's like falling for Drake. I'm like, no, Miz, approach us and give us the rules, please. Separate these two. Champs versus Stars 2. This is billed as. Not on the billboard or that little banner that they have hanging up there. Oh my god, we're going to spend some even more time. Miz is going to be talking about, like, these stars. Talking about Booby. Daniel Booby. Which is a badass fucking name, man. I would totally have that. Vincent Booby. Booby Cloud. Yeah. Oh, and Miz is gushing. I remember this. He's just like, oh my god, the Booby. I love Booby. Can I hug you? Can I squeeze you? Caress you? And then, oh, Selena is here. She's like a model. Now, she looks great. Yeah, yeah. Oh, she's also an actress. But again, I'm like, everyone does everything nowadays, so I'm like, man, whatever. But what are you really? She's probably a model. Looks the part, like I said, like her body, there's like no, like, there doesn't seem to be any like muscle there necessarily. Like, you know, from what I can count, most models of that caliber is, oh my god, I'm getting so distracted here. Casper. Oh, who gives a shit? I was like, Casper, oh, you dated J-Lo and I'm jealous. Not really. Although, slightly. No, I've gotten over it, is the thing. I was at the time. But who cares? Oh my god. Okay, and then Ashley Mitchell is saying, oh my god, hopefully J-Lo watches her ex-boyfriend on a show on MTV and then she wants to be friends with me. Ashley Mitchell. Delusions of Grandeur. It's great. I'm so glad she's back. It's great. Hopefully she sticks around enough. Arian Foster. I've at least heard his name, heard of the name, you know. And I've heard of this little sport called football. So, yeah, this is cool. I feel like this is a good cast. You know, you want, if it's going to be champs versus stars, and I know that the word champs is falling apart and the word stars is falling apart, you still want to land those professional athletes that have been on, like, not necessarily Wheaties boxes, but who's been on, like, interviews on TV and, you know, ESPN and shit, you know? If you could reach across to me, who does not pay enough attention to the world outside of himself enough lately, you gotta have those fucking names. All right. Oh my god. Okay, so he's introducing something about an overall ranking. This is very interesting, but it's not explored anymore. Nothing is really revealed about the overall rankings. But oh my god, that's got to play a big part in the end. Stare down, lubed steps, basically. When I first heard of it, I was like, what a joke. But I'm like, I don't know. This is fine, you know, because it's tough. You know, if anyone's ever ran a stupid ass, what are they even called? I don't want to think about it. Fuck. Oh my god, look at that. They're lubes. They're falling and shit. What the fuck was? Oh, Tough Mudder. If you want to pay like $200 to run 12 miles through a bunch of annoying, painful bullshit, get zapped, knocked out, unconscious, bath of ice for nothing but a T-shirt and a free beer. You do that. I don't know where I'm getting at here, but okay, here we go. Jose or Josea, what's his name? He's fucking from Big Brother, right? My only complaint is like he's on a stars team when really he could be just premiering on the fucking Final Reckoning, which he is going to do. You know, like the previous season of the challenge, they had Big Brother casts on the show. Like it was no thing. Like it was just Are You the One? Basically, you know, they're like they're from a different show. So, and then Gordy Shore and all that stuff. So this guy, why is he put on this mini series instead of the regular season? Was he that big? And okay, so but on a plus, Jose, whatever his name is, I haven't heard of him, but I've heard of Big Brother, so that's almost good enough, you know? Like BB, NFL, NBA, like I know these things. I know these letters. All right, here we go. First heat, which it's randomly chosen. That's what TJ says. We got 15 minutes to get up there and shit. Oh, Casper slips. Right in the lead. Tony's able to take the spot. And hey, Tony's going to fucking win. He's going 100%. Tony time. You know, like it was heartbreaking the way he went out in the previous season. You know? He should have fucking won. I would have loved that he won. So there he goes. He just says, I love to be considered a champ, even though I technically haven't won this thing. He's the only person that utters those words on this episode of this entire season. Corey never admitted previously on Champs vs. Stars 1 that he never won. Oh my shit, Tony's talking about that ass J-Lo. Because he beat Casper, I think. Is that why? He's like, yeah, Casper, he's short. I would have banged J-Lo better or something like that. I'd be more Ben Affleck. Thank you very much. Let's see here. Cam doing some awesome shit. Throwing down. Oh no, but then Cam runs into how many other people? Ashley. Oh my god, that was great. Oh my god, Tori. Fourth. Oh, and this is the Louise. Oh yeah, Louise gets kicked down by Anissa, and Anissa's like, I thought we were cool and shit. Like, cool? She's there to play. What are you there for, Anissa? The same thing, but again, you're just kind of throwing shade. You're trying to make yourself relevant. I'm just so annoyed that she's back. But then immediately, I'm like, hey, Cam is also here. She was my favorite of the last season. She really was. I'm so glad she's here. Did I say that already? Salida, the model. Didn't I? Oh, Josea, throwing down Ashley. Like straight up shoving her down. And maybe he's like, that's what I did in Big Brother. That's my calling card. I fucking shove chicks down. Ashley Mitchell gets up there in the allotted time. That's great. Eighth overall. All the champs are up on top, and yeah, these two. What's his name? I should have been paying attention. Big Brother guy and Salida. They will not go. Salida tries to get there. She does this heroic leap forward for it, but Cam can't help her. No one can help her. I guess I didn't know that, and I wasn't paying attention to see if anyone else was helped. So yeah, both those two, they are disqualified. And they will be the last picked overall. Alright. What are we talking about here? This is crazy. Not about what Casper said, but the fact that I'm doing this again by myself. I'm gonna do an audio commentary through this whole thing. And whenever I do record by myself, I like to do it fast, like within 20 minutes. But these are long ass episodes to do live takes. CT, of course. Grizzly Bear, yes. It's fucking. CT is, I want to say, the oldest person competing in this season. But just a natural freak athlete. Look at that. They can't even get up still, and he's just there slipping and sliding around. But let's check out who's coming in second. Devin was so cool last season. He had a lot of promise. He had a lot of fucking promise. He was not eliminated properly through elimination. It was just a last place thing. You know, the producers like to pull it out of their ass when they're like, oh my god, we actually have really good performers, but there's just simply too many, so we just got to cut them out unceremoniously. All right, here we go. What the? Oh, Shane fights dirty, but we already knew that. And he's on this team. Oh my god, he takes down 4 of the fucking star women. Oh my god, that was brutal. That was crazy. And yeah, he's not a champ, not even a finalist. But just, I think it's fine that he's here. I mean, now that the word champs versus stars, especially champs, have completely broken down. If you're just gonna cast people, then yeah, bring in Shane. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. West, slow and steady, gets 5th overall. Daniel Bube gets in there. Fucking Shane once again, kind of basically taking one for the team, just throwing himself down, just to keep wiping down these women. All right, let's see who's coming up next. Brooke, 7th. And then finally Shane with 8th. And I think that might... Little Mama. I haven't even mentioned her yet. And now it's all up to Hennessy. She's got a minute. She says the hood... What? But she said... Oh, this is great. I remember this now. Yeah, look at that. She's slowly making the climb. 15 seconds. Take this huge... heroic leap for the ledge, and she gets under the 15. What's his name? Jose, Big Brother guy, and Salida didn't even make it in that 15 minutes. So awesome for Hennessy. Sister of someone I've heard of. All right, let's see. They're going to do the top 2. It was basically between Tony and CT. Tony takes it. It is truly Tony time. So yeah, Casper's talking about like how I should have been there. Oh, let's get into the twists and turns. Thank you, Miz. You are my light at the end of this tunnel. What's he saying? Oh yeah, this is the blurring of the lines, which I understand why they had to, especially after Champs vs. Stars 1, where it was completely lopsided. Like, the Stars never won a single mission that season. And no, they didn't win the fucking final. Of course they didn't. But you call it Champs vs. Stars. How is that necessarily the truth if they are fighting with each other? So it could have been called, why not call it Champs and Stars? You know what I mean? Like, well, if you're going to change that, you could say just Challengers and Stars. Why not do that? But the producers believe that Champs is a better selling point. So here we go. Fucking CT, Tony. This is the draft here. Who do they pick? They're basically going to stick to having it all in the family, you know? Uh, this is where it still consists of chance versus star. This is the game within a game thing that's being planted right now, just within the drafting process. Because there's some amazing prospects there. But let's see. For the women, Tony picks Tori. Perfectly fine. That makes a lot of sense. She picks Kayla over Ashley Mitchell, which I felt very weird about. Just because or Cam too. Although I don't know what I'm getting at. Tony mentions something about like how he doesn't cheat on his girlfriend anymore. He says that as a joke, as something funny and clever and charming to say in a weird way. And he picks Wes. Wes did not want to be on his team, but he's like, hey man, something about a leash. You're a dog. Like he's mentioned this something about someone else. CT. And he won that season along with CT by his side. Like, that was crazy. So, oh my God, is he going to ride Tony to the end? Sounds oddly sexual. Cam picked CT finally with Mitchell because they won together and shit. All right, now Miz starts to kind of put himself into the process. A little TJ-like, but I'll give it a pass right now. He's just basically saying, like, how could you choose these your own teammates and people that you know over NFL and NBA guys? Basically, that's his big complaint, you know. All right, so this is the next male choice, and Devin's still up there, but CT's like, enough's enough. Get Devin over there, and which is fine. You know, Devin does know more of the inner workings of how shit should be run and stuff. You know, NBA or NFL. You know, like that's fine. You know, that's a lot of muscle, but if you don't know what to do with that muscle, you can be corralled into eliminating yourself in some way, which is what's going to happen. Like Ariane Foster's basically going to be convinced to vote himself in. I mean, can I just skip to all the bullshit? This episode takes forever. Oh, booby! All right, 6th place overall. Then CT takes Ariane. Anissa is the last of the champs. Yeah, and rightfully so. Like, I don't even know. Like, personality-wise, I'm sure she's got her fans and stuff, but I get tired of it because it's basically consists of Anissa saying like, I am like better and I will betray people. I don't care and stuff. Like nothing really positive when it isn't backed up, you know? Oh, a lot of bitching, a lot of complaining already. This episode's long time. This episode's long time. Hennessy, she's crazy is what Tori's saying. The sister of someone I know is getting a lot of camera time right now. CT is red team, Tony is blue team, and now they're going to be told who's won overall because this is where, you know, the rankings and shit, it really actually pays to draft the top performers. It's blue team. Okay, and then, yeah, they get the MVP. I was like, oh, shit, they get team money and stuff, but they don't. Losers choose last valuable player. What is all this shit? Rules! This is all the rules. I think I'm just getting bored for some reason. Alright, here we go. So, I don't know. It's pretty typical voting process. And now they're off to see the house. Or the studio apartment. What is it? Oh, it is an inn. Okay. The Jamaican Inn or something like that. Last season they were in like a... Lexa? Is that what it was? Luca? I don't know. But it was a really nice hotel. Like, they really sold me on it. Like, I would probably go there if I was in the spot. It'd be great if they were shooting a fucking challenge there again. But, yeah, they're not here this time. They're at the Jamaican or something like that. Let's see what's happening here. Anissa, hitting on. She always does though. She's hitting on Booby. Doesn't want to call him Booby because like she's like it's someone you wouldn't want to make out with and shit. And everyone is kind of, all the women are kind of flirting in, but he's got his eye on Cam. And god damn it, every single time. What does it say about me if the women that I like are hit on all the time? A follower? Just a fucking male sheep? Alright, game within the game. Wes is talking stuff about that, which is true because only starmen will be going in elimination. Oh shit. Yeah. There's an undercurrent of a game where like the champs are just gonna get rid of the stars, because if it is true, you know, with the rake, Jamaica Bay in, there we go, that's what it is. Oh shit, we got Devin, Wes, and oh my god, I'm blanking on names. Louise, god damn it, sorry, I'm terrible with names. I know her, I know what she's about, I know what they're doing. They're gonna be talking strategy. And Wes is basically putting her up in a top spot, like making her Evelyn and Wes of the Fresh Meat 2 Alliance. Devin is like, hey man, I'm part of this alliance, but I will respectfully walk away because I'm on red team, technically. And they're going to talk blue team deliberation. And I think they're just like, we're putting in Tony. And the reason was because they would show that she's playing both sides, is that? Or willing to, or something like that. But apparently they're friends outside of this place since the last time that they've competed on Champs versus Pros. That's awesome. Red team deliberation. This is when. Actually, we have two volunteers. What is your name? Josie. Josie. Yeah. What's his name? Fuck. But he volunteers, and rightfully so, because he didn't get up there in the 15-minute allotted time. Meanwhile, in that same meeting, Ashley Mitchell, who is a star, doesn't... Okay, this is what she says. We would pick our best person, and then that's when Ariana's like, yeah, do me. You know, he's like, when he hears, like, we put in the best people, Ariana's like, yeah, put me in. And Ashley Mitchell's like, you're fucking dumb. Devin is there. So, like, we already know, like, the champs right now are running the thing. Because it was Ashley Mitchell who threw out that suggestion, and fucking Ariana's totally bit. But then what happens here? Devin says, like, what if it's like puzzles? And Arya's like, what the fuck does that mean, motherfucker? Right away, man, it's great. Because I'm like, I've heard of your name, and the fact that you're interacting with Devin in this manner is great because, you know, conflict is awesome. I mean, you know, if it's cool enough. Because it's not like Ariane got up and like, what, like that. No, he's just kind of sitting there. Tearing Devin down by not even having to look back. I mean, he probably gets taunted in the NFL stadium. He's like, what? And he fucking says shit like that back. And while he's fucking leading the division in running. Is that what he said? Rushing? Running. It's all running, really. All right, here we go. So we get to blue team. They all unanimously vote in Tony. And Tony is going to be fucking drunk on power right now. It's great. It's fantastic. He's just so like amped and like, you know, full of emotion and stuff because he's very jittery. I don't know if you know this. Hands on Nola. Is that what it said? That's his charity, Tony. I have no idea what it is. And he's also going to be given the power play. Interesting. So basically, yeah, for this episode is almost like a veto, you know, you would have in the Congress, is to protect. You can protect anyone, from not going in. So say somehow it got out of control and they put in not Andre or Aryan from the red team, but say they put in Devin, and Tony's like, no, we gotta save fucking Champ. So he could have said, no, I save Devin. That's not gonna happen. I mean, like Aryan is basically voted in because he volunteered. You know, Josiah, he votes in himself in too because it's like, hey man, I lost. Makes sense if I go in. I'm like, yeah, like I don't know. Some people always say to vote in yourself is the stupidest motherfucking thing you could ever fucking think of. And I'm like, yeah, that's because of the 50-50 factor. I understand that. But there's some people who go in and with the complete belief in themselves that they can win and prove a point and blah, blah, blah. And they do that a lot. You know, that can happen. And some people are just like, no, fuck 50-50. So holy shit, Ariana. It's like Ariane and Tony get into this thing where Tony's like, I always want to put it myself. Yes. I'm so glad Tony's back because he's almost even more warped and more centered as a challenger star now, you know? Stars versus stars. Why don't you call the show that? Although Tony is a rightful finalist, not a true champion, but what gives a shit anymore? Oh my god, little mama, she's turning on Tony. She's because at first he's like took my breath away or something like that. Oh yeah, he randomly throws in Casper. He's like, hey man, can you do it? And Casper's like, all right. But so this is what it's gonna be: star versus star, and he's the one. He calls it out right away. It's great, even though he was like 2 seconds behind Tony and shit. Calls it out, rightfully so. This is what you need. You know, like a lot of this shit has to be aired out because the game always improves. Because you know you have to see a lot of people adapt to the current changes in the game, but if things stay the same, not brought up, I don't know what I'm getting at. This episode is long as shit, man. Oh fuck, Casper's like, I don't trust nobody. Ask J-Lo. Ask that ass. Oh my god. Okay, so now we're finally in the elimination. And this is an awesome throwback. This looks great. This is actually indoors. An indoors elimination. We haven't had this since Inferno 3, I want to say. And this is great because, you know, normally, typically, they're done at night. You know, understandably, it's very dramatic looking and shit, you know. But challengers have always said, like, oh man, it's fucking, you know, you're always tired by the time it actually happens. It's like 2 a.m. or something like that. Oh shit, here we go. Casper versus Ariane. And what they're gonna do, I like. I actually really enjoy this concept because it's strength, yet it's like there is strategy to like how many times you hit it. Like what is? Oh yeah, they're tired. Okay, I have to stop myself because Tony is getting pissed off because Casper's like, Tony threw me in and shit, and oh fuck. All right, so Casper's like, I'm gonna beat Ariane, then I'm gonna throw in Tony, or something like that. And it's like, well, yes, Casper is smart. Casper's smart. Did I mention that his last name was Smart? But he is totally okay. Casper is aware what the game within the game is. Oh my god, they're gonna strike this shit, twist the screw. That's just awesome to me. I don't know. I think it's not like a super cerebral competition, but it's so different, you know. First of all, NFL player, not NBA. All right, MLB. Fuck. Not baseball is what I'm getting at. And then Casper Smart, what does he do? He dances, man. That's what he is. Isn't he a choreographer, dance choreographer who dances? Yeah. But I'm sure most guys have played at least some little league baseball in their life. But it is a weird skill that you have to do, you know. And I don't know why I was shocked to see that Casper Smart won. Just because of the big strength and shit. And you actually see this moment where Casper stops for a second, walks around, loads up, and hits it one more time to win the thing, while Ariane is still hitting away at it, trying to make it turn. And I don't know, Casper must have knew that it was fucking over with. You know, he even took that moment to take his time. And now Tony approaches Casper and like this is borderline Johnny Bananas, where he's like, hey, we gotta talk about this. This is borderline Cara Maria, where they're like, hey, you acknowledge me, what you just did in front of everybody and stuff like that. But I fucking like this because Tony's way more likable than Bananas and Cara Maria. They both are absent. And this is the shit right here. Look at Tony, man. This is the shit that happens when you take away those old classics. Let new people take in those spots. All right, here we go. So it's all done, or is it? It's not really done. Casper gets $500 towards his charity. What is it again? They don't say. Aren't they always allowed to like pimp out their charity? You know, like at every time. Oh, Ariane, he's gone. I am shocked. I actually liked him here. And then, this is where they're like, hey, man, maybe he's not gone. Maybe he's here. Well, he's not going to stay here because the whole team is allowed one save of their eliminated person per season. So it's really going to come down to the game within the game once again. Champs are going to fucking vote in the star first. So he's going to be gone. I mean, it hasn't even happened yet. But Ariane, I wanted him to stay. He had some great interactions with everybody. He kind of put everyone on their toes and stuff. Like, that's the sort of shit that's always interesting to see. You know, people who are like instantly affecting the environment. You know what I mean? Like the habitat. Everyone's like, wait, oh my god! This part when Shane walks up they're having that red team discussion whether to save Ariane or not. Shane makes a very visual stance against his star teammates and just steps up to the other side with the rest of the champs and says, we're not saving him, you know? And Ashley Mitchell is the one that's like, hey man, we're egotistical, we're here to win, we're being assholes, like this is how the motherfuckers played, you know what I mean? Ain't no right, ain't no fair and love and war or some shit. And oh shit, what's Brooke saying? Oh yeah. Oh, Brooke is like, wait a minute, it might be still Champs versus Stars. So I think it is obvious to almost everyone right now at this moment. It has to be. Like, I wonder what stars are just like, well, that ain't true. Like, that might have happened on the red team, but that didn't happen on the blue team. But no, I mean, Casper was nominated, and Casper said that himself. So everyone should at least know what this is about. Ariane Foster, he's gone. What was his charity? I missed it. It could have been about anything. They really aren't pimping out the charities as much, which is fine. That's almost like me complaining about not getting those phone clues before every mission, where I'm like, who cares? Like, it was kind of pointless anyways. Okay, so yeah, you know what? I enjoyed the mission. I enjoy the teams that were created, although it goes completely against how the concept of the show, champs versus stars, champs versus pros, they're playing together. But I can't be surprised anymore either. Like the names have nothing to do with it anymore. Like this show is constantly turning like a goddamn labyrinth, mazes with walls constantly changing and shit. Oh, okay. So at the end, fucking Shane is kind of talking about like Ariane losing and stuff, and this is where Selena's like, "Hey, man, don't ease up a little bit." But Shane is a goddamn like he is such a catty bitch. He's fucking crazy. So he's already kind of getting at Selena with this shit. This is the time when Kayla steps up, and Kayla, I want to like Kayla, and because I want people new to win, like versus Cara Maria. It's always been kind of Kayla trying to challenge the established vets, but she hasn't been able to do it. But profanity, oh my god, this was like the best part of the trailer when I watched it. I'm like, ooh, profanity. That's like something I would have said to like Kayla if she was just like randomly swearing, and she does. Like Kayla has no transition, no tact really. She just goes from like kind of likable to just like, oh, I'm sorry, but I'm like a huge ass bitch and shit like that. And Brooke walking out of the room to console Selena and shit. And holy shit, Brooke just like being the upright like citizen and saying like you're being trashy. It was wonderful. It was, and oh man, the show's great. Yeah, I mean, this episode's about to end real soon, but the show's great. I'm so glad. Like, I like this better than the usual seasons, so I'm willing to stick around and watch what fucking happens next. Thanks a lot for listening in, and I'll catch you next week with next week's episode. Like, subscribe, comment. This is Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud.